This is a question from Max. What if the sky was always full of storms?
Imagine looking up and seeing dark clouds, lightning, and rain constantly raging across the entire sky. Not just once in a while, but every hour of every day, everywhere on Earth.
First, let's think about the immediate weather effects. Every region would experience relentless storms. Hurricanes in the tropics, blizzards in polar regions, thunderstorms everywhere else.
Temperatures would fluctuate wildly as clouds block sunlight during the day and trap heat at night. Sunlight, which is essential for life, would be severely limited. Rainfall would become nearly constant. Rivers, lakes, and reservoirs could overflow, causing massive floods.
Coastal areas would be underwater frequently, while inland regions might experience soil erosion and landslides. Agriculture would struggle as crops are constantly battered by storms, hail, and flooding.
The atmosphere would be electrically charged all the time. Lightning strikes would increase dramatically, making outdoor activities extremely dangerous. Power grids and communications infrastructure would constantly be at risk of failure from strikes and storms. Air travel would be nearly impossible. Planes couldn't safely take off, land, or navigate through the continuous turbulence. Ecosystems would change dramatically. Forests might be constantly pruned by wind and rain. Rivers could carve new paths every day, and species unable to adapt to constant storms would die off.
Animals would need to evolve extreme sheltering behaviors or migrate constantly to survive. Some resilient species, like certain amphibians and storm-adapted insects, might thrive, but the majority of wildlife would struggle. Human society would face catastrophic challenges. Cities would need constant protection from flooding, wind damage, and lightning strikes.
Buildings, bridges, and roads would erode faster than they could be repaired. Insurance would become almost meaningless. Disasters would be continuous, not occasional. Energy generation would also be affected. Solar power would plummet due to persistent clouds. Hydropower could be erratic. Rivers might flood or dry up unpredictably depending on storm patterns. Wind power might be more abundant, but constant extreme winds could damage turbines. The psychological impact on humans would be significant. Sunlight regulates mood and circadian rhythms. Without consistent sunlight, rates of depression, sleep disorders, and stress would skyrocket. Societies might become more insular, with people spending nearly all their time indoors. Transportation and trade would collapse. Roads and railways would be frequently flooded or washed away.
Ships would struggle in stormy seas, and air travel would be nearly impossible. Global supply chains would break down, leading to food and medicine shortages.
Over time, Earth itself would change. Erosion would reshape landscapes continuously, carving new valleys and cliffs in just a few years.
The ocean currents would be constantly stirred by storms, affecting climate and marine life. Entire ecosystems would evolve in extreme ways to survive constant weather chaos. In short, a sky full of constant storms would make life extremely difficult, both for humans and for the natural world. Survival would require new technologies, new ways of living, and a complete adaptation to relentless chaos. It's a terrifying, awe-inspiring thought. A planet where calm weather is a memory and storms are the only certainty. Nature would dominate completely, and humans would need to rethink everything from cities to daily life. Storms would be the rule, not the exception, reshaping Earth forever.